Welcome everyone to the Diagnostic Doctor, where medical lab science is the answer to the question, Doctor, what's wrong with me? Today we are diving into the fascinating world of medical technology. So you might think it's all about lab coats and microscopes, but it's so much more than that. We'll try to keep this lesson as simple as possible so that even a primary school learner can understand what the field of medical lab science or medical technology is all about. So let's get started. First off, what exactly is medical technology? You should think of it as being a health detective, and detectives solves puzzles. Just as detectives solves puzzles, we have three key phases that helps us to solve puzzles in the lab, which is the pre-analytical phase, where the right sample is sent to the lab for testing. The analytical phase is where the actual magic happens, where the samples are tested to gather data. It's simply just science. And once we've gathered all the data that we need, the final step is the post analytical phase where we make sense of the data. So it's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle but with health data. Who are medical technologists? Now, we know that medical technologists, or MTs as we call them, they are basically the superheroes of the healthcare world. They play an important role in diagnosing and treating diseases, monitoring health, and using high tech gadgets alongside their good old fashioned manual skills to solve the puzzles. Without them, diagnosing conditions would be a bit like throwing darts in the dark. You would miss every single time. What are the skills needed by a medical technologist? So they are basically problem solvers. They should be able to evaluate lab results and make sense of complex data. They are also team players, so they should be able to effectively communicate with doctors and patients. And let's not forget that they are excellent resource managers, making them able to juggle lab resources with the finesse of a circus performer, but not quite the circus performer that you might think of. What do you need to become a medical technologist? So you need the basic skills that you need is general skills, physical skills, and cognitive skills. The general skills is a medical technologist need to be able to assess situations quickly and make the appropriate decisions at all times under stress. A medical lab science should also possess the physical skills, so they need good dexterity. Think of it as being able to handle tiny tools with precision. And thirdly, the cognitive skills, which is very important because they must be able to measure, calculate, and analyze data. So they should basically be a math wizard. Last but not least, when it comes to skills, the soft skills matter too. Medical technologists should be able to work well with other team members because teamwork is essential. They also need to follow the safety guidelines, ensuring that they and their patients stay safe. And let's not forget the importance of maintaining composure under pressure. And trust me that deep breaths are crucial in this line of work. But as we know that medical lab science is not just medical lab science, it goes beyond testing, where we need to consider the ethics of the field. So medical lab scientists have a code of honor or code of conduct to keep the patient's information private at all times. So what happens in the lab stays in the lab. They should be able to collaborate with healthcare professionals because teamwork make dream work. They should also strive for quality and integrity. They shouldn't take shortcuts to the testing procedures. It should always come from the SOP and done according to the SOP or the standard operating procedures. So let's look at professional conduct on a on a deeper level, how do the medical lab scientists operate? So they stick to what they know. So they are basically like chefs in the kitchen. They know their kitchen and they will not leave the kitchen. They know what a knife is, they know what a fork is. So they stick to what they know and they apply what they know. There's no solo X in this line of business without a seasoned mentor. So before you can be able to work independently, you should be supervised. And during the supervision, you should always follow the rules and regulations. So there's no rule breaking, there's no time to be rebellious, there's no time to be out of your line of work. And in conclusion, the question that pops up when I think of medical lab science is, why does it even matter as a field of study? Why does it matter to me? Why does it matter to you? And like we've discussed, that it's essential for healthcare, and medical technologists are crucial in making diagnosis and keeping us healthy. And because without them, diagnosing diseases would be a game of guess who. So, without the lab, without medical lab scientists working in the lab, doctors will just be guessing what is wrong with a patient. So, this is why medical lab science is the answer to, doctor, what's wrong with me? Now, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So, if you have any questions, don't worry. You don't need a medical degree to ask questions. You don't need any form of qualification to ask questions. I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions. You can put it in the comments. You can send it to me via Facebook. You can send it on Instagram, whatsoever. And that's the end of the session. And I would like to end it with a quote by Abraham Lincoln. He said that you can't dodge tomorrow's responsibilities by ignoring them today. Thank you.